Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It has been quite a while since I've seen you all. I am ready to talk all things books. So if I remember correctly, I think the last book that I had spoken to you all about was, let me check. Okay, I'm pretty sure the last book that I spoke to you guys about was Bride by Ali Hazelwood. That book, honestly, I have been kind of feeling some type of way when it comes to books that involve like werewolves and vampires. Although I love Twilight, like watching that movie, and even though that is like a comfort movie for me, like it made vampires and werewolves so corny to me. So I was really not all that, I don't want to say all that hyped, but I didn't know kind of what to expect when I read that book. And I'm not even gonna lie to you, I loved it. But that's the last book that I spoke to you guys about. I think I rated that one 4.5 stars. But after that, I just was like not in the mood for fantasy. I haven't been in the mood for romance in a really long time. So since then, I've honestly been reading like mostly thrillers and horror. That's just been what I've been in the mood for. So the next book that I read was Hidden Pictures. This is by Jason Rekulak. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I rated this book 4 stars. So let's go ahead and get into the synopsis. Hidden Pictures, a wildly intensive spin on the supernatural thriller about a woman working as a nanny for a young boy with strange and disturbing secrets. Mallory Quinn is fresh out of rehab when she takes a job as a babysitter for Ted and Caroline Maxwell. She is to look after their 5-year-old son, Teddy. Mallory immediately loves it. She has her own living space, goes out for nightly runs, and has the stability she craves. And she sincerely bonds with Teddy, a sweet, shy boy who is never without his sketchbook and pencil. His drawings are the usual fare: trees, rabbits, balloons. But one day, he draws something different: a man in a forest dragging a woman's lifeless body. Then, Teddy's artwork becomes increasingly sinister, and his stick figures quickly evolve into lifelike sketches well beyond the ability of any 5-year-old. Mallory begins to wonder if these are glimpses of a long unsolved murder, perhaps relayed by a supernatural force. Knowing just how crazy it all sounds, Mallory nevertheless sets out to decipher the images and save Teddy before it's too late. So like I said, I rated this book 4 stars. I was honestly very intrigued by this book because of the fact that it actually shows like the pictures that Teddy was drawing within the book. That for whatever reason was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. Like it was just such an interesting like premise to me. Honestly, I did not see the end coming. It was a major plot twist, and I think that's a part of the reason why I rated it 4 stars. That's kind of like a part of the journey for me. Like for my sister, for example, she's one of those people that tries to figure out what's gonna happen before it happens. For me, I like to go along for the ride. Like I just wanna enjoy the story and let the author take me where he's taking me. Yeah, if you guys are interested in reading it, I would definitely recommend. I like to recommend books that are 4 stars and above. 3 stars are books that, you know, I enjoyed it, but will I ever read it again? No. Will I recommend that you don't read it? No, but I'm not gonna necessarily recommend it to you, if that makes sense. So yeah, Hidden Pictures, that's book number 1. Let's go ahead and get on to the next one. So the next book that I read, I literally love how I was saying, oh yeah, I didn't read any fantasy, but this is a book that actually one of my old coworkers had lent to me because she had just finished reading it, and she was like, oh my gosh, like you have to read this, the plot twist at the end. Here, she literally gave me the book. She's like, here, take it. So I ended up reading it, and honestly, I will say it was a little difficult to get into, just trying to understand the world, trying to understand even the author's like writing style. It was a little confusing for me, but I rated this book, let's see, 4.5 stars. Yeah, the plot twist at the end, yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get into the synopsis for you. It says, Lightlark, this is by Alex Astor. Welcome to the Centennial. Every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears to host the Centennial, yeah, that's right. Every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears to host the Centennial, a deadly game that only the rulers of 6 realms are invited to play. The invitation is a summons, a call to embrace victory and ruin, baubles and blood. The Centennial offers the 6 rulers one final chance to break the curses that have plagued their realms for centuries. Each ruler has something to hide. Each realm's curse is uniquely wicked. To destroy the curses, one ruler must die. Isla Crown is the young ruler of Wildling, a realm of temptresses cursed to kill anyone they fall in love with. They are feared and despised and are counting on Isla to end their suffering by succeeding at the Centennial. To survive, Isla must lie, cheat, and betray, even as love complicates everything. This book was really good. I would say, like, okay, it would constitute as like a romantic fantasy, but it wasn't romance driven in the way that I was kind of expecting, but the romance was romance enough where it left me like wanting more in a sense. I don't know how to explain it. All I gotta say is the book is good. I believe it is gonna be a trilogy. The next one in the series is called, let me see, Nightbane. Oh, it looks like she came out with the third one. Okay, and then the one after that is Skyshade. So I haven't read the second one yet. That is a series that I do intend to finish though. So definitely recommend if you're looking for another fantasy series. On to book number 3. Honestly, Lee, I've been like really into audiobooks. I don't know why I'm mentioning it right now because I didn't listen to this via audiobook. I read this like on my Kindle, but just like as a whole, I've been listening to audiobooks lately and oh my gosh, especially because I'm working a 9-to-5 again. I'm back working at a law office. So I can't read as much as I used to be able to read. So listening to audiobooks is just so convenient. Like I get it. I understand why people love them so much. But yeah, anyway, back to the book. Don't Let Her Stay. This is by Nicola Sanders. I was a little disappointed by this book. Like honestly, let me read you the synopsis and then I'll get into why. Someone inside your house wants you dead, but no one believes you. Joanne knows how lucky she is. Richard is a wonderful husband. Evie is the most gorgeous baby girl. They live in a beautiful house. Life couldn't be better until Richard's 20-year-old daughter Chloe turns up. Chloe hasn't spoken to her father since the day he married Joanne 2 years ago, but Chloe wants to make peace. She'll even move in for a few weeks to help Joanne with the new baby. It sounds perfect, but when things happen to make Joanne feel like she's losing her mind, she begins to wonder, is Chloe really here to help? Or has Joanne made a terrible mistake by letting her move in? And is it too late to ask her to leave? Okay, let's get into it. I rated it 3 stars. I was trying so hard to find a really good thriller and they were all just disappointing me left and right. Like I was just disappointed left and right. Regardless, the biggest thing, the thing that like frustrated me the most with this book is the blatant disrespect from Chloe and how the main character, I already forgot her name, Joanna, yeah. She like just was like letting this girl talk to her crazy. She was like just letting her do all kinds. She didn't stand up for herself and that is something that I cannot stand. When it comes to reading and when it comes to like certain characters, I love a strong woman. I love a woman who does not take crap. I love a character in general. It doesn't even have to be a woman. Like that helps me connect with the character. Like if you're just letting anybody treat you however, babe. And so that was very frustrating for me as a reader to read what Joanna was letting get away, like what Joanna was letting Chloe get away with. I'm like, girl, if you don't put your foot down right now. And then I also hate like that like trope where like the husband, like, I'm kind of revealing it, but or like the husband like doesn't like want to listen to his wife, or he doesn't want to like believe her, and he's like making her out to be crazy. I'm like, couldn't be my man. Anyway, that was something that really frustrated with me with this book. I would say the end was kind of a plot twist, but it's just like, I don't know. Like I didn't really care for it. Not saying don't read it. You may enjoy it more than I do, but I think it's funny because when I was reading the comments, when I was reading the comments, like a lot of people were relating to like how I was feeling, and I think it's so funny. First comment, the dog was my favorite character. Girl, yeah, literally, this is my favorite one. This is a review by Angel. She said, it just started, but I can't stand Joanne. Why does she let that disrespectful like she was going off, talk to her like that, and in her own home she needs to kick Chloe's stupid butt out of her house along with her husband if he disagrees. Her husband Richard is a complete jerk. This is definitely white woman's drama because it would never happen in my house. She even agreed to let that crazy girl look after her baby. WTF. I don't think I can finish this. The wife is a dumb, spineless doormat. Instead of beating Chloe's butt in the ground, she lets her do whatever the she wants. Yeah, like Angel, I agree with you. So if you want to like read the book just for the drama and to see like what the heck is wrong with Chloe, you know, I definitely recommend it. Like if you have Kindle Unlimited, like you can read it for free. If you don't, then you know, it is what it is. I would say maybe pass on this one. But yeah, on to the next. Now on to a book that I would recommend to you, and that is None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is the first Lisa Jewell book that I've read, and this book has been on my to-be-read list for quite a while, and everybody like raves about it, and after reading it, I'm like, Okay, I get it. Lisa Jewell returns with a scintillating new psychological thriller about a woman who finds herself the subject of her own popular true crime podcast. Celebrating her 45th birthday at her local pub, popular podcaster Alex Summers crosses paths with an unassuming woman called Josie Fair. Josie, it turns out, is also celebrating her 45th birthday. They are, in fact, birthday twins. A few days later, Alex and Josie bump into each other again, this time outside Alex's children's school. Josie has been listening to Alex's podcast and thinks she might be an interesting subject for her series. She is, she tells Alex, on the cusp of great changes in her life. Josie's life appears to be strange and complicated, and although Alex finds her unsettling, she can't quite resist the temptation to keep making the podcast. Slowly, she starts to realize that Josie has been hiding some very dark secrets, and before she knows it, Josie has unveiled I don't know how to say this word, inveigled her way into Alex's life and into her home. But as soon as she arrived, Josie disappears. Only then does Alex discover that Josie has left a terrible and terrifying legacy in her wake, and that Alex has become the subject of her own true crime podcast, with her life and her family's lives under mortal threat. Who is Josie Fair, and what has she done? Okay, this book is prime example of what I say when I say I like a slow burn. I like books that are very intricate. I like books that have a lot of moving parts. I like books that keep you guessing, where the storyline isn't necessarily so linear, where you have to kind of jump different places and you know, maybe go back in time or go forward or learn different things that at the time don't seem like they're significant, but then in the end it all comes together. And that was this book. I think I rated this one 4.5 stars. Let me double check. No, I rated 4 stars. I rated 4 stars. This book, yeah, I will say that the main character, Alex, that's another, I don't know what it is with these books and having like main characters that are a little spineless and that don't stand up for themselves. Alex, I was looking at her a little sideways, but at the same time, like, I kind of understood why she made some of the decisions that she did. But the ending of this book, I did not see coming. It caught me off guard, and I just really enjoyed it overall. Like the whole not knowing, you know, getting like teeny tiny pieces of the story as you go. Like it was just very enjoyable to me. I was literally listening to this book while I was click-clacking at work. So it provided like the perfect little mental escape as I was, you know, handling my tasks for the day. Okay, in the same vein, I decided to try another Lisa Jewell book because I love the first one so much, and I read The Family Upstairs. This one I rated 3 stars though. Soon after her 25th birthday, Libby Jones returns home from work to find the letter she's been waiting for her entire life. She rips it open with one driving thought: I'm finally going to know who I am. She soon learns not only the identity of her birth parents, but also that she is the sole inheritor of their abandoned mansion on the banks of the Thames and London's fashionable Chelsea neighborhood, worth millions. Wow, that was a tongue twister. Everything in Libby's life is about to change, but what she can't possibly know is that others have been waiting for this day as well, and she is on a collision course to meet them. 25 years ago, police were called to 16 Shan Walk with reports of a baby crying. When they arrived, they found a healthy 10-month-old happily cooing in her crib in the bedroom. Downstairs in the kitchen lay 3 dead bodies, all dressed in black, next to a hastily scrawled note, and the 4 other children reported to live at Shane Walk were gone. I got a little bit of sweat on my top lip after trying to read that. That was hard. Anyway, I won't say that it wasn't enjoyable. I didn't have the same kind of frustrations that I had with, you know, the books prior that I was telling you about. However, I just found the book a little, I don't want to say boring, but like I just feel like there was no real climax. It was just, I don't know, I was expecting something other than what it was. I don't know, I guess I was expecting something that was a little more creepy, a little more twisted, and in a sense it was twisted, but I don't think it was the book for me. Like it was just a little boring. I think not, and I don't want to say that the book itself is boring. I just want to say in comparison to None of This Is True, that genuinely had me on the edge of my seat, like what the frick is going on? Reading this right after, I think maybe if I would have read it before, I would maybe have different feelings, but I guess I had high expectations for her writing after having listened to that first one and then listening to this one and being like, girl, I know you could do better. Yeah, that's why I rated it 3 stars, because it's a book that I listened to and that was enjoyable. Like, it was entertaining, but it's not anything that I would probably read again. I do think that her writing is very good. Her books are very well written. They're very carefully thought out. If you like things like that, if you're a fan of her other books, then I recommend you read this one. It's not bad. It just wasn't my personal favorite, that's all. On to the next. The first one is Rock, Paper, Scissors. This is by Alice Feeney. I've heard of this book. I've seen people recommend it. It's been on my want to read for a while, and I finally got to it. I think, how did I read this one? No, I read this one on my Kindle. I was trying to remember if I did it on audiobook or not, but I read it on my Kindle. This book was so good. Like, this book was so good. I rated this one 4.5 stars. Let me go ahead and get into the synopsis for you. Think you know the person you married? Think again. Things have been wrong with Mr. and Mrs. Wright for a long time. When Adam and Amelia went a weekend away to Scotland, it might be just what their marriage needs. Self-confessed workaholic and screenwriter Adam Wright has lived with face blindness his whole life. He can't recognize friends or family or even his own wife. Every anniversary, the couple exchange traditional gifts: paper, cotton, pottery, tin. And each year, Adam's wife writes him a letter that she never lets him read. Until now, they both know this weekend will make or break their marriage, but they didn't randomly win this trip. One of them is lying, and someone doesn't want them to live happily ever after. 10 years of marriage, 10 years of secrets, and an anniversary they will never forget. This book, like, honestly, it was almost like a Frida McFadden novel, but like mixed in with like a Lisa Jewell novel, but like mixed in with, I don't even know, because I was able to empathize and relate to the main character, Amelia. Like, as I was reading her perspective, as I was reading her letters, I felt for her. I don't know what's up with these characters and making stupid decisions, but she was making some dumb decisions where I was looking at her like, girl. But then again, I'm not in her shoes. But other than that, like, I really empathized with her as a character. I was really invested in the couple's marriage as a whole, and just the way that everything was pieced together, like, where you're like, that's exactly what I'm talking about, where like the author will give you just little bits of the truth, like little bits of like what's actually happening. And so then when it all came together at the end, it left me like, oh shoot. I'm just gonna leave it at that. 4.5 stars. I don't want to accidentally spoil it for you guys, so I'm just gonna say, go ahead and read that one. Go ahead and add that one onto your list. If it's on your list, go ahead and drop what you're reading now and pick that one up, because I really enjoyed it. On to the next. The next one that I read was First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. This one I for sure listened to on audiobook. And that's why I got confused, because I was listening to this one at the same time that I was reading Rock, Paper, Scissors. Your girl, I'm back, okay? I'm back, and I'm into reading, and I'm in love, and I've found some books that have got me like captivated and, you know, want to keep going. So we're back. We're out of our reading slump. Evie Porter has everything a nice Southern girl could want: a perfect doting boyfriend, a house with a white picket fence and a garden, a fancy group of friends. The only catch: Evie Porter doesn't exist. The identity comes first. Evie Porter. Once she's given a name and location by her mysterious boss, Mr. Smith, she learns everything there is to know about the town and the people in it. Then the mark: Ryan Sumner. The last piece of the puzzle is the job. Evie isn't privy to Mr. Smith's real identity, but she knows this job will be different. Ryan has gotten under her skin, and she's starting to envision a different sort of life for herself. But Evie can't make any mistakes, especially after what happened last time. Because the one thing she's worked her entire life to keep clean, the one identity she could always go back to, her real identity, just walked right into this town. Evie Porter must stay one step ahead of her past while making sure that there's still a future in front of her. The stakes couldn't be higher, but then Evie has always liked the challenge. This book was so good. I don't want to be a dead horse. The author did a good job of putting this book together. Like, it was giving us, you know, present tense, past tense, because we were going back and forth with like the different identities that she used to have. I guess the best way to describe her occupation is like she's a spy of sorts. So like she has like different identities when she's on like different missions, and going back and forth from like the beginning and how she even got into the business, and then just like the things that took place when she was on different missions like in her past, and then like seeing where she's at in the future. And like, honestly, even the way that she thought, like, she was low-key, she was that girl. I really love the ending up until the ending. I don't like how like the last like chapter, like the epilogue, whatever, that kind of irritated me. And like, if you read the book, you'll maybe understand why. But other than that, I really loved the book. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know what to expect. And so once things were revealed, it just left me like, a round of applause. Round of applause. Good job. That one I rated 4 stars, not 4.5, but I definitely do recommend it if you're looking for a really good psychological thriller. On to the last and final book. This is a book that I've been planning to read for 8 million years, you know, so I was like, let me go ahead and give this book a try. And I ended up not rating this book because this book left me feeling like, what the heck did I just read? And honestly, that's all I have to say about it. That book is Tender is the Flesh. I'll read you guys the synopsis and then I'm just gonna end the video there because I genuinely don't have anything to say about this book. I don't have anything to say. I don't even want to think about it anymore. I want to pretend it never happened. Working at the local processing plant, Marcos is in the business of slaughtering humans, though no one calls them that anymore. His wife has left him, his father is sinking into dementia, and Marcos tries not to think too hard about how he's making a living. After all, it happened so quickly. First, it was reported that an infectious virus had made all animal meat poisonous to humans. Then governments initialed the transition. Now eating human meat, special meat, is legal. Marcos tries to stick to numbers, consignments, processing. Then one day he's given a gift, a live specimen of the finest quality. Though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden on pain of death. Little by little, he starts to treat her like a human being. And soon, he becomes tortured by what he has lost and what might still be saved. All I gotta say is Marcos makes me so mad. Everybody in this book makes me mad. And the only person I was rooting for was Marcos. And I'm just gonna leave it there. So if you guys are interested, if you like dark and creepy stuff, I'm not gonna necessarily recommend it, but if you're interested in reading it, you're interested in reading it. But that book definitely left me with no thoughts in my brain. I put it down, literally was thinking, what the heck did I just read? And then went about my day and just swiped that from my noggin, because what the heck? Anyway. That is it for today's video. I'm so sorry for being gone for so long. That's if you guys missed me, but I have definitely missed you. I definitely intend on being more consistent in the future. I'm already working on other videos to bring to you guys because I genuinely do love YouTube. I genuinely do love reading. And let me tell you something, I genuinely love talking about books. So you best believe your girl will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Bye.